So I'm wondering if anyone here can tell me some of the rules about lighting a Chanukah. And I have prizes. Gabe, tell me a rule about the Chanukah and its lighting. I just want one, just one. I can give you only one prize. Pick one. Okay. No, sorry, we have to share. But I love your desire. Good, you need to light the other candles with the shamash, with the helper candle. Well done. All right, so which is why there are 9 branches on a Chanukah, but 8 count for the 8 days of Hanukkah. What other things do we know about it? Lynn Medorsky, you're being pointed out by Michael Kraut, which should mean that Michael Kraut has an answer. Okay, right. What do you mean? What do you mean right to left? Well, they need to be right to left, but so you load right to left, but you light left to right. I will give you a half-size gelt for that. That's great. The shamash is always higher than the other candles, almost always. I like that one, very good. Where is a Chanukah? Oh, sorry, Sella. I have a targeted question, so I don't know if this is what you're going to answer, but where is the Chanukah supposed to be located? Lucy?
By your window.
By your window, well done. Or could it be somewhere else? Polly? Oh, no, you want to know? Could it be somewhere else? Yes, Cammie. Outside. I'll save this for you for later. That's my daughter, so. Left pocket, Cam. If you've ever been to Israel during Hanukkah, you've seen all the Chanukiot are actually outside people's homes, and traditionally that's where you place it. Yeah, Polly? Yes, so like a Shabbat, like any kind of holy day candles. There you go. I'm out of gelt, so that's it. You can't extinguish them. They have to naturally extinguish themselves, as it were. So lots of interesting rules about the Chanukah, right? This mitzvah that we have during Hanukkah. So now the question is why? Why is there this mitzvah of lighting a Chanukah? For what purpose? Oh, I should have saved one. Maybe I do. Okay, good. Yeah, well, I know. I'll give away candy. Who knows why? What is you can point at people, but that's oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
To honor the Festival of Lights.
Okay, well, so yes, to honor the Festival of Lights, but I'm actually looking for a specific commandment reason. Yes. Very good. You're very close. To honor the miracle, and so really the way we say this, I mean, I'll give this to you anyway, just because I had 2 left. So come on. But the mitzvah of the Chanukah is for a very specific reason in Jewish tradition. The reason is something called Pirsamei Nisa. Okay, have you ever heard that? Pirsamei Nisa. It's a strange formulation of words. It means to publicize the miracle. Okay? This is why a Chanukah is not supposed to be placed in an inner room of a home, but rather in a window or even outside, because it is for publicity purposes, to publicize the miracle. So now here is the question. What is the miracle? This is that you should know because of the way I'm leading it. It's all a trick question. So try. Howard Sorkin. Good. What are the 2?
One is the Maccabees far outnumbered by the Greeks.
Yes. Seleucid military, yes.
The one that we talked about is the amount of oil that sold that one day that ended up last day.
I have no candy, but I'll give you more later. Exactly. So there are 2 miracles that our tradition says we remember and should publicize on the occasion of Hanukkah, and they are a military victory, right? The Hasmonean band, the Maccabees, this small group of religious zealots who really was made up of nothing, somehow miraculously won against the massive Seleucid army, right? And if that one is a little too violent for your liking, there's the beautiful story about the miraculous oil, the cruse of oil that was only, large enough to last one day, and wow, it lasted 8 days. One miracle supernatural, one miracle human, either way a miracle. But what, Gabe, I'm sorry, no more questions, honey. I got a time limit. Here is the question, though, or here is the statement. What if I were to tell you that actually, in addition to those two, the Chanukah, this notion of publicizing the miracle, is about publicizing something else and something bigger? Well, that's going to be my sermon, honey, so you're going to give it away. But you'll tell me if that is what it is, Lucy. So I like that. You know, I worked with you for your bat mitzvah, so I would hope that you would be able to predict what it would be, but we'll see. So you might be interested to note that this command, Pirsumei Nisa, publicize the miracle, is only mentioned twice in all of Jewish tradition. There are only 2 acts which fulfill the mitzvah of Pirsumei Nes, publicizing the miracle. One, you know, it's lighting the Chanukah. But the other tells us a little bit more about what are we really trying to publicize. So let me ask you this, and this is not for candy. If you had to think of a Jewish ritual that was outward facing, externalized, that somehow symbolized something about our faith, what would it be? And I don't want you to answer, I just want you to think for a second. And then I'm going to give it, I'm hearing you say it. It is mezuzah. Raise your hand if you were the winner on that. Great, right? So what is a mezuzah? A mezuzah is some sort of container we put on the doorposts of our home, right? And within it are scrolls with biblical texts. And what do those biblical texts contain? Shema ve'ahavta, lists of commandments, the ways in which Jews are to be Jewish, and not in their head, not in their heart, but in how they are in the world, right? So think about where a mezuzah sits, right? It sits at the doorposts of a house, right? So obviously it's external facing. It has some functionality in terms of Pirsumei Nisa, publicizing something, because it identifies whomever it is within the home as Jewish, right? It says, this is a Jewish home. Someone or everyone inside of it is Jewish. But the mezuzah also functions for those who reside in the home. How? How does it work for us as Jewish people or those who love them? Allison? Great. So for you, the person who resides in the home, it's a reminder that every time you walk into your home and every time you walk out of your home, you are Jewish. And that Judaism is something that is supposed to walk with you. Not just privately when you're in your home, although it should guide you in how you behave behind closed doors, but also it should guide you in how you behave outwardly and how you present yourself to the world. I think a lot about this, especially when I talk to people about their Jewish identity. People often, when I ask them, tell me about what Judaism means to you, they'll say things to me that are well-intended. They'll say, well, Judaism is just something I feel in my heart. It's deeply personal to me. And that may be true. And it can start there. But Judaism can't end there. Judaism might be personal, but it was never intended to be private. And it can start in the heart, but the heart, for it to count, has to extend outside of oneself. It has to be made manifest in the world. So when we think about these 2 symbols, these 2 rituals, which are really about facing out into the world, it invites us to ask the question, what matters more? What's on the inside or what's on the outside? And our tradition comes to say, yes, both. Can't have one without the other. Because as much as the candles invite us to think about the holiness of this particular time, they also invite us, through our understanding of the mezuzah, to understand that being Jewish can't just be about lighting candles 8 days in the year. It has to be about a willingness to show our Judaism every day, when we rise up and when we lie down, when we walk by the way, when we sit in our home, the entire narrative of our lives. So this Chanukah, we have 2 nights left, as it were. This beautiful Chanukah inviting us to see all of its illuminating light. It comes to invite us to understand that we have 2 more days to really focus in on the miracles of this season, which are many, and they are particular. But when the Chanukah is full, all 8 Chanukah lights, plus the Shamash standing the tallest, filled up in its space, it is an invitation to more, because we will end Chanukah not with a dwindling light, but with a Chanukah full and glowing, one that might continue to carry us through these very dark days, but one that should also carry us when the days start to get lighter too. In light days, in dark days, in good days, in bad days, our Judaism has tied us to each other and carried us through anything and everything we could imagine. So we pray that it is a festival of illumination for us all, and one that endures in all of its building glow throughout the year, so that maybe next year when we find ourselves together on Chanukah, we'll be able to look back and say, every day was in fact glowing. May it be so in our day.